Political races are also heating up in this part of the world. Parties in Peninsular Malaysia are likely to look east after the 15th general election to form a federal government.
Analysts say the Gabungan Parti Sarawak, or GPS, is one such coalition seen as a potential kingmaker. It aims to win all 31 parliamentary seats, the largest number among all the states in the coming polls.
Noor Farhan with this report from Kuching.
After a landslide state election last year, the GPS coalition has established itself as a force to be reckoned with. Both Sabah and Sarawak currently hold 25% of parliamentary seats in Malaysia, or 56 out of 222 seats. Sarawak's influence matters, especially in the event of a hung parliament where support is split evenly between the incumbent and opposition.
Whoever come into power, they would need strong support from East Malaysia. And GPS being a single bloc, they have a good bargaining power. So in turn, they use this dominance to extract resources to expand their support in the state.
For now, their strategy will be to stick with what worked in previous elections.
Saya cukup yakin bahawa pihak GPS, bukan saja parti saya PBB, kita punya machinery, kita punya bilik gerakan, semuanya masih ada ya. Jadi maknanya the winning strategy itu masih boleh kita kena pakai di peringkat negeri juga pada peringkat pilihan raya parlimen.
Support for GPS can be found both in rural and urban areas.
Parti yang majority itu dia dah buat kerja, okay? And we know dia punya history.
At our kampung level, the GPS will still have the advantage.
But GPS's goal to win all the seats in Sarawak could well be a bridge too far.
I think it's basically it's political posturing. I think every party will show some confidence, but we leave it to the voters to decide.
I think to win all the 31 seats probably is a bit too far-fetched, because don't forget, in areas where the Chinese are in the majority, I think the thinking of the Chinese here is that they still need to have the opposition in government. They still need the DAP to represent the voice of Sarawakians who are not necessarily in supportive of GPS's policy.
In the rural areas of Sarawak in general, the incumbent government has a long history of helping out the people's needs, back from the days of BN Sarawak to the current era of the Gabungan Parti Sarawak coalition. But some believe that more can still be done, especially in infrastructure and telecommunications. Analysts don't see the likelihood of any single political party holding a simple majority in parliament after the election. A grand coalition will likely be created after fierce negotiations. And GPS leaders say the coalition will wait until after the election to cooperate with any party that can guarantee political stability in the country. Noor Farhan, CNA, Kuching.